anything else. It's not a remake, it's not a prequel, sequel, it's its own thing entirely, but not only is it entirely original, it is so unique in a way that only Tarantino can pull off. In every way, the way you just subvert, I guess, our expectations, but exceed them at the same time. People are going to be delighted at the theater.
And I see this as a confluence of all your work to date, in many ways. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could talk about that.
Well, there was a thing where, I have a first AD named Bill Clark that has been with me since Jackie Brown. He came to the house to read the script, and I was really kind of curious what he was going to think about it. And he went out by my pool like these guys did and read it, and he came back in and he goes, "It's all of them." He goes like, these are all. There's a bit of all your movies rolled into one, to one degree or another in this script. And I do kind of think there's a little bit of I look at this as my 9th movie, but then I think you can also look at it to some degree as like, okay, you can also look at it when it comes to a director's career where their films are focused, they didn't do a job, then maybe all the movies are one movie. They're all connected like boxcars on a train. And if that's the case, I think this is the climax. This seems like the climax of all those movies together. I'll do another movie, but that might be more epilogue-y, right? This seems like the big show-stopping climax.
Yeah.
Nice, really nice.
Not only is he forensic in sort of picking up, showing an audience a specific time period and a certain culture, mixed with fairy tale, mixed with sort of this, I don't know how to describe it, but this sort of tableau of memory that he has. All these things sort of fit in a very unique way that you don't see in modern filmmaking. And that's why it's so incredibly exciting to work on his movies, because there's this unexpected nature. Every day you're on set, you don't know what exactly is going to happen. And everyone feels incredibly energized and excited to be there because there's the great unknown. But we had the benefit with these characters of getting this incredibly rich backstory. We had an entire history together that he wrote for us. So even though it's a sort of day in the life of these two sort of outcasts of Hollywood that are trying to fit their way into a changing culture and a changing industry, there was an immediate familiarity with who these people were because we knew so much about our past, and it was so easy to fit in those shoes.
And I was surprised how loose you are on the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, because the scenes are so specific and so well orchestrated, you would think they have to be planned out. I would think they'd have to be planned out to the end. And yet, still when we get there on the day, there's a total looseness and freedom, like a trust in what you're going to capture that day within the confines of the...
Well, that actually kind of is one of the benefits of having a career that spans more than 20 years, is at a certain point, you have your big set pieces, and they probably have to be right on, but other than that, it's like, I don't think about shot lists or anything until I get to the set that day.
Was Reservoir that same way? Or did you come out?
Well, eventually it was. First, because it was, wow, this is the first time I'm ever going to do a movie, so I had to have everything shot list just so everyone would have trust in me. But it was a 5-week shoot. Somewhere mid-3rd week, I started leaving my shot list at home. I started feeling comfortable enough now to just to rehearse the scene and figure out the shots from that point on. And from that point on, that's always kind of how I do it. I mean, when you see us handing around shot lists and stuff, I wrote them that morning. Mm. Normally it's a situation where it's like, if we run through a dialogue scene before I send you guys to the chair, all right, so we do it, and like, okay, go to the chair, and then I sit down at a table and I lay out the shots. Okay, give it to Bill. Okay, this is what we're doing today.
I have to admit something.
What?
I have one of those.
Oh,
you wrote something. You gave me a DVD of an episode of something to watch, and you'd written on the back of that.
Yeah.
And then I was pulling out the DVD the other day, and I pulled out and opened it up, and I was like, oh my God, it's the shot list for the day that we shot. And I was like, if I tell him? Will he ask for it back?
No,
Can I
of course
keep
not.
it?
No, I throw them away. You can feel free to have them. I have
So-
a few more left over. I'll give them to you.
You know, just so everyone understands, a shot list would be like, okay, we have this scene, and might plan ahead to get one from the back to see the whole environment, and then to get a 2-shot here of Leo and I, and then over my shoulder to get Leo's close-up, and then to get the gang, and that would be a shot list.
Insert of the horse head, insert of the ashtray.
Right. But on the day, it's actually much looser. Like he is finding it as he goes. It's more instinctual than you would think watching your films.
We have a little mantra that me and the crew have been doing for a long time, where it's where we say, okay, we've got it, but we're going to do one more. And why are we going to do one more? And then the whole crew screams out, because we love making movies. And we do. We're living a great life that we're just absolutely blessed to live it.
And by the way, everyone does it with no embarrassment. Like
No,
everyone's
you scream
in.
it at the top of your lungs.
Everyone's in.
You know, honestly, on set, it's kind of like this. It's like a I don't know. It's like an independent sort of student film, yet at an incredibly high budget with a lot of pressure. Like there's endless possibilities. Although you sort of stick to the Bible of the Tarantino screenplay, he also leaves these openings for anything to sort of happen.
And it's the moments where it's like they enter the party, and then you might spend all night doing this shot where there's a crane and there's this and there's girls dancing, it's choreographed. It's like, it's those small moments which
that was an particularly magical night. I couldn't even get to bed that night.
I was
just
so jazzed after the paper. It was so fun. And then you stop every 100 rolls of film and celebrate and have a drink and have a little party, and no one else does that. You can't do that.
One of the things Brad said earlier today that I couldn't agree with more is the idea that this is our lives. So as important as it is that we try to do movies that we care about and we put all our hope into, and hopefully we have good results at the end, as important is the experience of making the movie, because this is our lives. So if we're going to dedicate months and in some cases years to something, then we owe it to ourselves to enjoy it. We owe ourselves to appreciate it, to really have a great time. Everybody on the set, this is their lives. So let's live it.